President Trump is succeeding every day in his second term. We, the supporters, know it, but I don't think his haters are following through. President Trump visit to China is meaningful. It was important for him to go to China. And I will tell you the reason. Of course, President Trump's haters will never understand. I saw posts on the internet or on the CNN, network and things like that. They are trying to slam the president. And what I see is not what Trump's haters are seeing. And it is very, very disgusting to me. President Trump is a wonderful being. He's a wonderful human being. And many of us are going live to tell people or in our writings that there is a great president. He will be one of the great presidents, if not the only great president America has ever had. In this time of civilization, where wickedness, where all type of bad things are trying to gut good people, Trump is standing out very, very tall. And it disgusts me that people are misinterpreting the image of this president. And I have been in America for a little while, and I have seen like 5 elections. And what I do notice is that some Americans, even some of the media professionals, they want to praise foreign leaders than their own. And I don't find it to be very interesting. I think it is objectionable. President Trump had to go to China, whether he was invited there or not, whether the Chinese president met him on arrival or not. It was necessary for him to go to China. And there is a reason. President Trump took office first time in 2017. And the very first thing to begin with, he did a population count. And he found out that 3 Black American citizens were languishing in Chinese prison. He called for them. He called C to send those children or to set them from further imprisonment. She complied. He looked, and then one American pastor was in North Korean prison and was to stay there for all his life. Trump said, look, Kim On, you have to set that man free. I need to see him. Kim On bowed. He understood. And then President Trump look. And then there were bones of American prisoners of war that were still in detention in North Korea. President Trump said, what? You mean American prisoners of war, they are not alive? So why holding their bones in prison? So he's quickly sent Mark Pompeo to bring our bones, to bring the bones of the American prisoners of war. Kim Un did not resist. Kim Un sent us the bones of our citizens. It was just last week when we formally buried one of the American prisoners of war with dignity, or to give him a formal burial. And he continued that in the second term. I think Russia was holding a couple of people, and Trump sent for them. But that is not what I think. He is a great man. But by so doing, but because since 1950, we have had a list of American presidents, the Reagan, the whoever that we ever thought was a good or great man. They didn't make mention of American prisoners of war, and that their bones, they didn't do the count. And the bones were still held in detention in North Korea. It is Trump that broke the ice, said, look, those people died, so be it, but their bones cannot be held captive. Trump sent for them. That is not what I'm saying. He is a great president. For the second term, he ordered Russia to set free our citizens that were held in his custody. And Russia brought them back to us. But there is something special President Trump has done. The Gulf of America was docked with American labor, and 38,000 people, 38,000 Americans lost their lives digging that canal. But in 1978, President Jimmy Carter gave that canal to Panama for them to operate it. He will give them profit. American people always support the poorer countries. Like Liberia had the opportunity to fly the flag of convenience. So was it that the Panamanians were supposed to operate that canal, so that when our food should come, our food was coming through it. Every other thing that was ever ordered anywhere supposed to pass through that canal to reach the mainland. And President Jimmy Carter, the late President Jimmy Carter, gave that opportunity to the Panamanians to use it so they can raise their economy. And when that was done, the Panamanians, they saw a reason to give that opportunity to the Chinese. So all of the time, food coming to the United States had to pass through the Chinese. Why Chinese doing in our backyard? And nobody asked that question. And it was a regularity. Trump took over the second time, and he wanted to take the canal back because it looked like the Panamanian didn't know the use of it. And why, in fact, China will, move from way Asia to come control here. People didn't understand that. Chinese went back. He ordered the Chinese to go back. And they left from our backyard. So the Chinese, they found another opportunity. They went further, in our backyard. They went to Venezuela, and they were digging oil there from under our feet. I don't know for how long, but Trump said it's not proper. Chinese cannot be digging oil from under our feet when we need the same oil. And it was Americans that, prepared that, that drilling. And then Hugo Chavez took over and drove our companies out of there. And President Trump is saying it's not fair to American, companies that people should be drilling under our feet the very oil that we want. And President Trump went and said, look, Chinese are not, having any other right here. Let them move their Saratoga from our backyard. There is a man speaking. And Chinese went, they're supposed to understand. America built China from the ground up. Otherwise than that, they will remain in the caves. And some people don't know these facts. And then they want to blame an innocent man. And they don't want people to talk about it. It's bad. We are going to talk it because we came here. The American people didn't deny us. It is a big and powerful country. So when you come here, you want to succeed. They are with you. And that is why some of us are sending out that wherever we will be, we will sing the glory of this country, even if we are not here. And Chinese, walk around, and then they were hanging in Iran. They where they want to put oil in the Middle East. And in Iran is a rogue state, and they are emboldened to be doing things, seeking to wipe out the Republic of Israel from the earth. Because they are God, they made it. So Trump said, no, it can't be. And for having the intention to develop a nuclear, capability is not their portion because they will not use it responsibly. And Trump has imposed a blockade on that rogue regime. This is what we are saying. So Chinese are stranded. They have no way out. And let me give you a little history. Chinese owe loyalty to America. People think China is big, is this, is seen everywhere. All the people are plenty. Yes, it's true. But it is American. It is the Americans that gave them that wing to be flying. Not by words of mouth. But you know why in the beginning? The Japanese went to work and seized China. The Chinese had to run away in the desert and they went underground. Once they were not allowed to be on the surface, they went underground. So it is the American that emboldened them to come out of the ground. And it is the American that gave them direction to flush out into the Japanese. That was in 1937, 38. Thing like that. So there is the role Americans have been playing. Drive their suppressors to give them life. And a decade to that effect, 1937. So in 12 years later, before, with the cooperation of America, before China was able to settle down to become a country that people see. And because the treatment, the naked treatment, the Japanese have given the Chinese, That's why, when Japanese made a mistake to shoot shit on this country in 1941, that's why we are occupying them, because they don't deserve freedom. They deserve to be, made into some kind of status. So Japan is a vassal state to the United States, and we are going to determine what they should choose to do. That's what we call supremacy. America is a big brother to all of those countries. To Japan, it can't do anything without the approval of this country, like China. So that the Chinese, the way American pulling them, that what gave China the wing to be flying. China was nowhere during World War I, World War II. America was the one fighting for human dignity and human freedom. And Chinese are enjoying that privileges. And so they are right to accord America the right, the right of being big brother. Anytime American people call, Chinese will answer. No resistance. I was seeing the other guy saying Trump went to China and bowing to Xi, and that Xi did not go to the airport. Xi is afraid. Xi is thinking that American president will seize him and there will be no gunfire. They don't know it. We that came here that study, if you look at the map of China, and I will not share the information, but it was broadcast over the internet. China is within the barricade of American nuclear arsenal. So no day will they attempt to shoot one bullet against the American people, then there will be no China as we talk. Russia, all of those countries, they can't shoot anything. And American people have prepared for this thing for a long time. They dug in and they have that leverage. That's why when America push back, they have to understand they have to draw back in their shell. That's the reason why. Trump went down there to make them to feel at ease, to feel like they are humans. Otherwise, Trump has whole 50 states, 50 countries, 50 independent countries working together. He's more than China. He's more than any country. But he wants them to be like, hey, we are feeling like we are human beings. So people who think that Trump went down there uninvited or Trump doesn't know what he's doing, no, Trump knows what he's doing. He is giving the Chinese a sense of dignity. People don't know. All of those companies that are producing that made in China, are American company. If America is not helping China, Chinese will eat off the back of trees. They are plenty. So in economy, we understand that the more there are consumers, prices will rise. And no jobs in China there. And there are many. And so where there are many people, there will be many hungry people. There will be many poor people. Today, you just seeing the structures up. But it is only the government that put up those structures. And it is expensive to live in China. Many of them are many Chinese are in rural China. Many are still living in tents, made of purple or some other, makeshift. Some are in the caves. That these people will say they're comparing with American life. No. Even the least person that sells McDonald's is also expensive to any Chinese. No job there, nothing. These are poor people that American people are trying to help. So the way Trump pushing them back, wherever they put their hand, then Trump push back, cut them. So Trump has to make them feel free. That's it. Nothing else. No logical explanation. Trump wants them to feel free, that they are in a community of nations and that they deserve some dignity. But Trump ordering will freeze the whole of China. Just tell them not to come here. They start freezing. They start dying, literally. And that place that American people has given dignity, we can go there anytime. Both China, the Republic of China or the People's Republic of China, the American creativity, so they can go there. I remember during the presidency of Joe Biden, and then Nancy Pelosi wanted to go and celebrate with the Taiwanese, and then the Chinese. They say when she comes there, whatever we never do, that what we will do. So we say, hey, Nancy Pelosi, sit down before these people blow you out of the sky. But Nancy Pelosi went. No one was able to touch her. She celebrated with the Taiwanese and she came back. So like Chinese can put up big show, and some people that don't know, they think China is becoming a superpower and all of that. China tries to organize BRICS, so they can form new currency to overthrow the dollar. But it will take time for them to do that. And anybody hoping on that is hoping in vain. Because where are they? Where will be the headquarters? In China or in Russia? And these are broke countries. They don't exist. Are the kind of countries that some people, are comparing to America, that China coming to be the superpower, superpower. Where? We will live to see that. All history will tell. But I don't think America succeeded making the dollar powerful after World War II, that America needed to give to every country on the planet to give them the chance of recovery. So most countries are still benefited by American aid. Every year they give billions of dollars, away to this country. China has not done anything like that. China has not done anything like that. And still China is receiving aid from this country, Russia, and all of these big countries that when we sit in Africa, then we say, hey, these are big countries, they will overtake America. Only when you come here, you start reading the history, what has transpired. When you read it, then you say, oh, America is a very, very, very big country. It is a big brother. Any country that America does not support, you suffer. If your citizens are not coming here to school, to work, to partake in global trade, you are nothing. Your people will be reduced to suffering and nothing else. President Trump went to China to give China some level of comfort. They were right here, in the Gulf of America. Trump pushed them away. Then they retreated to Venezuela. Trump pushed them away. And so they relocated to go to Iran. Trump blockade. And because the Iranian regime is thinking that it is measuring arm with America, it doesn't know that it will square up with its own, mess that it has created. And China cannot prevent that. No matter what kind of talk they talk, they have to abandon their nuclear, production, operation. And that is a fact. And it remains. And Chinese are not going to go to their aid. Otherwise, they will be sitting in China and they will be trading messages. Nothing. In the Middle East there, it was Britain that was controlling there. And British people and the American people, they tied up the mother and daughter. So they are related. Wherever, Britain was, the American people you're talking about there. So they don't have leverage there. China doesn't have leverage. China didn't colonize any country. It was poor. So it couldn't do that. So they don't have influence anywhere. They can just continue building things, and that's what it should be. But now that they had money and then they were exercising neutrality, it is the fact that they themselves, the Chinese themselves, were dependent people. They didn't have anything. So they were being colonized too by China and other, powerful countries like, France. And, and so China cannot measure out to America. By Trump going there is meant to give them some level of relief so they can feel like, hey, they are nothing in the whole wide world. And so some, haters were saying that, and I think I should come over here to clear something off my chest, that Trump is not stupid. Trump, means well. So he can bow to Chinese, president. Maybe that guy, he is even getting big because he was not like that in 2017 when President Trump met him. Then he was small, but now he's becoming bloated. He feel relaxed, so he drinking more milk. Trump can seize him any day, anytime, and there will be no question asked, and there will be no finger raised. And so, like, I come here, to clear off those kind of, embarrassing statements people were saying. And if I have not seen them, I wouldn't come. I'm a damn Trump supporter, and I will not entertain anything that anybody says on this social media, and then I will not respond. It will be my weakness, or it will force me to say, I agree. No, it's not going to happen. I love Trump. This is the last great president we have seen, maybe in this century. And it will take another 250 years to produce somebody like Trump. No matter whether people love him or not, he's doing something good. And his presence will be missed because he said it like it is. Never has anyone, done so. And he's doing well. Right now, I'm even celebrating. There is one more thing he has done. People wanted to put taxes over, over gas. When you buy gas, and then you must pay something over it again. So it will be like a tax on gas sale. Trump said it's not important. And Trump gave us tax break. And more people that work here, they know what it means. And he reduced, the amount of taxes we must pay. That's what I mean. But the other people, they were imposing taxes on us. So how do you develop? So you make money, then it goes in breeze. This is what American people have been living with. Nobody was talking about it. You make money, and then it's not in your account. It's not in your pocket. Trump says, no, you make money, you must be the one to eat the money. And so that is it. We cannot, look at some other things and say, they are right because the people that push those kind of mentality, they are right people. No, no drug sale will be here. Trump said it, and it's true. So, like, if you must smoke, dangerous drugs, don't come here. But if you come here, don't smoke drugs. No abortion. If you don't want baby, don't see woman, don't see man. But don't make the baby and go destroy it. That's what Trump said. He's pro-life. Some people don't agree about the other alternate, format. Men want to use man for woman. I don't know who is ever subscribing to that. It's very dangerous that men you will take for a woman when women are beautiful women worldwide. Just call them, just be having a support. You have them, you enjoy their bodies. But men, the way men skin tight, I don't know what they see on men. To have sex in the anus or what some people do. And that is sickening. That demonic act. And they don't want Trump to talk about it. They want Trump to say, hey, because, people like it and people are going to vote for me. Trump says, no. If you don't vote for me, so be it. But there is an abomination. We cannot support it. And, so Trump is well defined. He is clear. If he will not support something, he will say, I will not support it. And that's why people are supporting him for what he thinks. His declaration. That's it. His declaration. He's not hiding anything at all. I think I'm supposed to support the man. So the topic here is that Trump going to China is something I think that making to be succeeding. It's one of the ways in which he is succeeding. We cannot forget the Chinese. They are part of us. American people been working to bring China up. And so America is still working. Otherwise, if we don't love them and let them be on their own, you will see them. They will be, eating off the back of trees. Not sea per se, but his people. And we don't want to see that happening. So President Trump wants to bring them in. But we have to contain them in some kind of way. They can't come and take over the whole place. This world is big. It's big. Even for the Chinese. They can't take over everywhere. So African people, those of the people there thinking that Trump went to China to beg, Xi, President Xi, you are mistaken grievously. America is a superpower. It's a supreme superpower. Without the American, effort, they will go to the ground. So that's it. I'm celebrating Trump. And yes, I have the right to celebrate him. He's a great president. I don't mind. But I want the media here to support him, not to castigate him, because the things they were saying, he can't stand up to China. People here, they are bad. American people are good. But this is what I'm just telling you, that some American citizens, not all, they like to berate their president for foreign leaders. I saw that when JFK, just before then, because I didn't see JFK, but the video, those things that they recorded after him, that's what we see. All history students are watching those movies. And that guy was a visionary leader. the way he spoke. He was the first young president that was ever elected in the United States. He was visionary and he spoke well. He was full of dynamism and other, zeals. He talked about the space that Trump is developing today. We have to go and live there, or we have to expand our activity there so that we will not be marginalized by other powerful nations. That JFK vision. And then time came. They were even calling that man, a traitor. After a while, they shot him. Somebody shot him. And right before people, with all the security present, they killed that young man. And it had been like, nobody knows it. But there is the United States. So when something happens, they must trace it. But it's been like almost 70 years now. Nobody has ever come out to say, look, there's the doer. But it happened in clear daylight. And the secret, where, what now they classify as, conspiracy. That they are free human being, a president, well guarded. They shot him in an open day. And they never brought the perpetrator to justice. So Trump voluntarily said, look, that person will be known to the American people. And we are still confused, clearly. Joseph Boakai followed Trump's step to identify that man. It was not clear, we don't know. So we think now, hey, it must be the CIA, because if we don't see the doer, what do we think? But Trump is still digging. We have to see the photograph of that person that did it, and he's working at it. There is Trump. He wants the whole world to know who is doing what and what are they doing, what they do. So Trump has changed the politics of the world. He's changed the politics of this country. He has changed the policy of the world all over. Everybody knows now what they call fake news. News that is not compatible. So, we are watching and we are staying on. Tomorrow we could be on the side. Like, I am coming to my home country very soon. I came here for many reasons, but now I am settled here now. But Donald Trump says, and I believe it, if you came here, don't forget your homeland. If you love your homeland, you're supposed to go and motivate the people there. I am one of the persons that accept and bought the message. Yes, I have to come to Liberia and live there among my own people where I was born, the things I used to eat. I still want to be eating them. The glory is also there, as it is here. But only our people didn't know. So we have to go and teach them. Say, look, let's do it this way. Let us not do it that other way. And to be successful, you have to work hard to be ahead. That's it. This is the American dream. Work hard to be ahead of life. And that mentality is carried over to any remote village. There are people there working hard. There are other people there, they are lazy. That they have the bush to brush. Some people brush bigger farm so they can make big harvest. Some people brush old. So when you brush old, you eat old. That's it. And my words are finished. And I am wishing President Trump, safe return I want to see him in America than anywhere because people want to tap into his intelligence, his generosity, his ingenuity. I don't want the Chinese to photocopy his head. These people, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I want him to be here with us in America. And that could conclude my message. Bye.